What up, when Interwebs? This is Face here from Electronigans, talking to you straight from work. Yeah, this is a separate voice recording, but what you're watching right now is me playing my Jedi Guardian on Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now, I'm probably pretty sure what you're thinking. Um, oh wow, you play Star Wars? Wow, what a loser! It's all about wow. Da 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 da. You know what? Whatever, dude. Okay, I've been a Star Wars fan since I was a little kid, and I'll get to that later. But honestly, this is just me playing my Guardian. I have a level 60 Sith Marauder because fuck you. That's why. Uh, Sith Empire rules. Sith Empire Nation. So Sith Nation. Fuck you. The only reason why I have a Guardian is part of the Legacy system. Um, and it's basically off the tree that I have. So it's pretty cool. But unfortunately, this video is not about my wondrous Jedi Guardian on Star Wars: The Old Republic. Actually, if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you'll know that I'm doing horror movie reviews. I was supposed to do a horror movie review months and months ago, but if you watch my update video, which the link in the description will be below, psych, it won't be there anymore because um, I deleted it probably recently, or don't bother finding it. But if it is there, go ahead and give it a watch. It explains everything as to why I haven't done much with the YouTube channel and why I'm about as active on Twitter and Instagram as a nun is active in a brothel. Anyway, the reason why I'm doing horror movie reviews is that I've always liked horror movies. Sometimes it helps me sleep at night. Other times I get scared. I like to get scared. I mean, not like scared to death where I'm horribly scarred and I have nightmares for the rest of my life. No, just scared where the endorphins come in is like, that was awesome. Um, some movies I'll fall asleep to, like the slasher movies, your typical Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Those movies help me sleep. Some horror movies, like, the ones that I will probably review, that are in this review, will help me sleep pretty much. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about my sanity. I think I'm clinically insane. Actually, sorry. I know I'm clinically insane. Uh, just a little bit of a disclaimer that there will be a spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen this movie yet, I'll do my best not to spoil it. Sorry, these movies. I'll do my damnedest not to spoil it for you, give you a chance to watch it. Most of the horror movies that I see are either in theaters or they're on Netflix, or I just go surfing the web to see which one's good. I look for the trailers to see what's worth watching. Anyway, I'll be judging these movies off of production value, acting, and level of fright. So, is it scary enough to give you nightmares? Is it scary enough to scar you for the rest of your life? Or is it scary enough to a point where you'll just fall asleep to it, if you're like me? Uh, since this is the first out of many videos to come, I decided to do something special and review 3 movies that I've recently watched. Um, Actually, yeah, that's basically what it's going to do. This is the only time I'm doing 3 movies. It's actually going to be 1 movie at a time, which means the videos will probably be shorter. The reviews will probably be smaller because I like to give basic summaries. So let's get started, shall we? All right, the first movie I'm going to review is The Devil's Seed, aka The Devil in Me. I have no clue why this movie has 2 different titles, but the movie came out in 2012 and was directed by Brooks Hunter and stars Michelle Aguirre, Chantal Canzanis, and a whole bunch of people I've never even heard of before in my life. Like, I've never seen them in other movies other than this one. This movie is about a bunch of bunch of college girls, where one gets haunted by a demon that wants to impregnate her virgin body with the Antichrist. Blah 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 blah. Your typical horror devil possessive movie, whatever. It's your typical Hollywood production horror flick where there's some dark music that will follow up to a jump scare of 12. It's basically, when the scare is going to happen because it has this ominous music, and it's not unexpected, but you'll see it coming. You'll know when it's coming because of the ominous music behind it. Production value for its time was pretty decent, and the acting was... I'm not impressed with the acting, to be honest with you. I was just like, really? Okay, this is the best you can do? Well, it is 2012, and it's 2015 right now. Acting back in 2012 wasn't that great. If you just had a hot girl or a few hot girls in there that shows a little bit of nudity, you're good to go. And it sounds like that's what's been going on with most of the movies here now. Most horror movies these days. Um, let's see. And The scare value, man, I've seen movies like this before. I grew up with these kind of movies. The one that I can think of in particular is The Exorcist. That movie I saw when I was 10 years old, and by God, it scared the hell out of me. If I watched it today, I'd be like, okay, whatever. The Devil Inside is another one. Let's see, any sort of devil possessing movies, where where demon possession is involved. I've seen movies like these, and I'm not scared about it anymore. When I was 10 years old, I was frightened. Like when I first saw Exorcist, I didn't sleep for 3 days. I waited till my dad woke up, so that way, if something did happen, I could go to him. Like, Dad, let's get out of the house. Simple as that. But it's not something that I wanted. This specific movie reminded me of The Exorcist with a bit of a twist. And instead of a Ouija board being played with the main character, the main character in The Devil in Me, or Devil Seed, she gets a psychic reading instead, which basically summons a demon. All in all, is the movie worth seeing? I mean, sure, yeah, it's worth seeing. There's some pretty dope music. I mean, it was good production value for its time, 2012, which was only 3 years old, and there's not much of a change. Maybe a slight tweak, but that's about it. But is it scary? No. If you're like me, you could probably fall asleep to it, or just watch it and just laugh and make fun of it. I mean, that's pretty much what I do. Uh, would I put this on a list of horror movies to fall asleep to? Definitely. If you're me, of course, but I don't know if anybody's about as cynical and insane as I am, but you never know. Next movie that I'm reviewing is called The Babadook. This movie I saw a trailer for and I scratched my head at it. So when it hit Netflix, I had to watch it. I mean, it had to be insane, right? It's a 2014 Australian horror film directed by Mike Flanagan and stars Essie Davis and Noah Wiseman. Now, when I first saw this film, I thought this was going to be more of those psychological scare flicks, the movies that like fuck with your brain, that give you mind fucks a little bit, and just is like, whoa, holy shit. And it would make you question your own sanity. But it turns out that the Babadook was a real thing. Like, it was basically a boogeyman. To be honest, it does sound like the Australian boogeyman. The production value was meh. It was kind of like a B movie, but the acting made me sit there and think, wow, sit there and just realize, okay, this is actually pretty good. I sitting there, and this kid is sitting in the backseat of his mom's car and screaming his freaking ears out, his throat out. And it sounds like he's just possessed by something. I don't know what it is, but it was fucking creepy. All I could say to myself was, wow, this kid and his mom are a little bit on the crazy side. The scare factor, like I said before, made me think it was a psychological scare flick, especially the fact that Noah Wiseman looked and sounded like he was straight from the bowels of Satan's testicles whenever he would have his temper tantrums. I mean, it was nuts. I was just like, dude, I'm gonna put a bullet in this kid. He's scaring the shit out of me. Um, Now, do I recommend seeing this movie? Yes, definitely. Despite the fact it was a foreign movie, I still highly recommend seeing this movie. It was really good. The scare factor, it was more like a holy fuck moments than and what the fuck value. I mean, more along the cases you'll see like the Babadook pop out and be like, holy fuck, or you'll just first few minutes of the movie, or maybe the first hour, you'll be like, what the fuck's going on here? I have no idea what's going on. Now, would I watch this movie to help me sleep? No, there's no way in hell. Because a lot of that movie involves you sleeping and have this horrendous nightmare, and no thank you. Okay, and this movie, I believe it's going to turn into a cult classic. This is my final movie, my third movie that I'm reviewing. And since there are three of them already, I'm doing it. It's the first VHS. So, to find it, it would be V backslash H backslash S. Good movie. There are about 10 directors for this film and a fuck ton of actors I've never even heard of. And why is it? Because this film consists of 6 separate segments of the film. It's a found footage film that shows about 6 different moments of supernatural phenomena. Now, if you're new to found footage films, think about the Blair Witch Project, that's the first thing that pops in my head when I think found footage. Another one would be Paranormal Activity. That's a found footage film as well. It's about 5 segments, and one segment that consists of this group of guys that were hired to find one tape. Well, each one starts watching all 5 of them before they are killed in the end by, I'm not really sure what it was. I don't know if it was a demon, a zombie, I have no clue. Now, when I first saw this film, I was creeped out. Like most of these segments was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? This is sick. This is gnarly. I don't know if I could keep watching this, but I'm going to anyway. The jump scares were awesome. I mean, I loved it, and originality of each segment got me hooked even more. Now, when I say originality, I'm saying like, you know, we've seen movies with vampires, we've seen movies with werewolves, we've seen them with demons, we've seen them with aliens, but this was just like, what the fuck is that thing? Or what the fuck is that thing? Or is like, is that a ghost? Or is like, okay, you can only see this by holding the camera up. It's like, whoa, that thing is flying. I was like, whoa, what's wrong with this girl's feet? Like, or whoa, holy shit, that dude just what? Like, a lot of the time it was just like, hold on, this is brand new to me. um, the acting was very convincing, like most found footage films. Some of them are not very convincing, but if they're unknown actors, like before you actually found out who the actress was for Paranormal Activity, you probably thought to yourself, "This is some real shit. I'm guaranteeing this probably happened. So why is it in a movie theater?" Same thing with Blair Witch Project. These people are actors, but you didn't know that at the time because it was a found footage film. Found footage films are actually really good for that, minus End of Watch, which stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena, but whatever. That's a whole different thing. Now, do I recommend watching this movie? Yes, and I also recommend seeing the sequel, both the sequels, which I will probably review later in this series. Um, Now, watch it with the lights off, with the volume turned up, and maybe with a friend, or watch it alone just to see if you'll get freaked out. The best part is to watch it with a friend because that means you could scare them. Um, I wouldn't watch this falling asleep, to be honest with you, because I'd be too busy watching the movie because I liked it, and it wouldn't help me sleep at all. Maybe it would. I don't know. I haven't given it a try yet. Sorry, I'm a little gassy. Drinking too much soda. Anyway, that's all the movies I have for now. Like the video if you enjoyed the reviews and subscribe to the channel because I will continue to do more in the future. I look forward to doing this, to be honest with you. Sorry it's taken me so long to actually put this up for my followers and my 8 subscribers, which I don't give a fuck about, to be honest, if you've watched my update video. But anyway, this is Faise, signing off.